Did you know that there is something called the Public Service Pride Week? That's right. It started as Pride Weekend, then it became a week, then a month, and now it's been expanded into an entire season, officially recognized and funded by the Government of Canada. From June until September, the federal government pours resources into what it calls a celebration of diversity, but at what cost? Let's dig in. It turns out that this season isn't just symbolic, it's expensive. Alongside the federal 2S LGBTQI plus action plan, which includes everything from community grants to international advocacy, Canadian tax dollars are being spread across initiatives that seem more about optics than outcomes.
November 2017. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau delivers a formal historic apology on behalf of Canada for discrimination against LGBTQ2 people in our country. This is a catalyst for progress. This apology is rapidly followed by the adoption of legal protection for gender identity and gender expression under the Canadian Human Rights Act. That same year, the Government of Canada creates the LGBTQ2 Secretariat. The Secretariat helps keep the government informed on issues that are important to communities. It also helps integrate related considerations into the everyday work of the Government of Canada. In 2018, a new law is passed to make sure that those convicted of crimes unfairly, including LGBTQ2 people, would be able to have their convictions removed from the record. In 2019, the Government of Canada creates the first federal program dedicated to LGBTQ2 communities and organizations advancing rights and equality. At the start of 2022, conversion therapy is criminalized in Canada. August 2022, we're continuing to build on this progress, working together with communities to strive towards a more equal and inclusive Canada. To that end, we're thrilled to present Canada's first federal 2S LGBTQI+ action plan, Building Our Future with Pride. The Federal Action Plan is a guided approach to improve 2S LGBTQI+ equity in collaboration with federal departments and agencies. So, what's in the plan? The plan focuses on 6 priority areas. Prioritize and sustain community action, continue to advance and strengthen rights at home and abroad, support Indigenous resilience and resurgence, engage everyone in Canada in fostering an inclusive future, strengthen data and evidence-based policy making, embed community issues into the work of the Government of Canada, and so much more. Based on the largest public consultation with 2S LGBTQI+ communities in Canadian history, the Action Plan is a guide that will inspire and inform Canada's actions towards equality for years to come. Learn more about our Action Plan at canada.ca/federal-2SLGBTQI-plus-action-plan.
Take, for example, the $8.2 million recently sent to fund gender-just, low-carbon rice programs in Vietnam, something Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre publicly flagged as an example of ideological excess during a time when Canadians are grappling with inflation, a housing crisis, and crumbling healthcare. Now, thanks to your support at rebelinvestigates.com, I was able to file access to information requests to uncover spending tied to Public Service Pride Week 2024. And the response was pretty shocking, although the feds filibustered by focusing only on capital Pride Week, leaving out much of the broader taxpayer-funded celebrations by salaried bureaucrats. I've appealed that response and will be requesting updated figures for 2025. But in the meantime, let's break down here what their response did show. In May of 2024, Amber Tremblay, the manager at Health Canada, requested pride flags for a total of $11,450 just for installation and labor. The flags themselves cost another $5,250. A vehicle rental for 75 bureaucrats came in at $850, which appears to be an entry fee for a government float in this parade. Then Tracy Reynolds, who's Health Canada's chair of the Gender and Sexual Diversity Network. She received her registration confirmation for the 2024 Capital Pride Parade and then forwarded it to Sakina Adjur, who's the program officer at Health Canada, and excitedly proclaimed, "I hope you will be marching with us," with, I think I count, nearly a dozen exclamation marks. Then there's an $863 charge for 54 attendees just to walk in the parade, most of which appear to be former public servants. I mean, let's talk about inclusivity bleeding tax dollars, almost $1,000 just to partake. These public servants come from the GSDN, which stands for the Gender and Sexual Diversity Network of Health Canada, and the Public Health Agency of Canada, which is representing the full spectrum of gender identities, gender expressions, and sexual orientations. The fee is apparently to be filed under union, political group, government organization, educational institution, and they weren't sure if it included tax, so they went ahead and added it on their own accord. Contingency fees, as they say, putting this in questionable compliance with the Directive on Travel, Hospitality, and Conference and Event Expenditures that's signed off on. A Pride sidewalk was painted at a cost of $15,470, again requested by Tremblay and signed off by Health Canada's facilities manager. It didn't stop there. Equipment cost $640, was purchased for ceremonial purposes, usually reserved for events like Remembrance Day or the arrival of foreign dignitaries. But apparently, Pride flag events also need their flags to be ironed, carpets perfectly trimmed, and podiums polished. And wait, there's even more. Labor to install and remove a flagpole, plus a rental of a concrete-based flagpole, came in just over $1,000. 2 intersex flags cost $5,250 plus $60 in labor from a property coordinator. Additional flags, another $4,644. Labor for the flag ceremony and building exterior display, $11,450 plus another $60 for coordination of all of that. And finally, more flags for a grand total of $10,130. And that's just a small sample of what has been uncovered. Nearly every item is signed off by high-level federal bureaucrats, often without clear justification beyond diversity initiatives. So what are we at now? Almost $68,000? For what? A series of events that, while cloaked in the language of inclusion, increasingly look like expensive, taxpayer-funded theater. At a time when Canadians are facing real and urgent crises, skyrocketing cost of living, broken healthcare systems, and unaffordable housing, this level of spending on symbolic gestures is, at best, tone deaf, and at worst, it's reckless misuse of public funds by a bureaucracy more invested in image than impact. But stay tuned, because we've just scratched the surface. For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. RebelInvestigates.com is our website that houses all of our exclusive investigations. And if you would like to help offset the cost of us doing this work, you can do so at that website, RebelInvestigates.com. And you can also check out all of our other exclusives. That's RebelInvestigates.com.